while we still don't know for certain who won the American presidential election yet, we do have some very interesting exit polling data that tells a very interesting story. In fact, it backs up something I was saying a few videos ago in advance of the election. I was predicting that we would actually see these demographic groups of voters that Donald Trump supposedly hates, and he doesn't like them, and they don't like him, and he has policies that are terrible for them, so they'll never vote for him. Those groups that we hear this narrative about, they're actually going to come out even more in support for Donald Trump. And the exit polling data shows that has actually turned out to be true. Why did I first think that? Well, we just saw all of these polls happening in the months before the election. When there was turmoil in the streets of many American cities during the summer, protests turning into riots led by Antifa involving Black Lives Matter, the polls showed that more black voters were gravitating towards Donald Trump. Wow. Also recently, we saw that more LGBT voters were taking an interest in Donald Trump. Interesting stuff there. So what actually happened? Well, the exit polling data from firms like Edison, which is one of the top ones in the country, they suggest, yes, this stuff did indeed happen. Huge increases in the African-American vote, men, women, increases in white women as well, increases in the LGBT vote going up to something like 28%. The Muslim vote even increasing, not by a ton, but from 13% to 35% in 2020. Wow. In fact, the only demographic it seems like he lost on was white males. Everything else saw an increase. What is going on here? Well, I think there are two things that are happening. One is I think people were told, Donald Trump has terrible policies for you. Donald Trump hates you. And folks said, okay, well, I'm going to want to fact check that. I'm going to want to see just how much he hates me and just how terrible these policies are for me. And then folks looked into it and thought, oh, I don't know. I'm not so sure that's actually true. And I really look for the evidence and the goods. And actually, I kind of like this policy or that policy. And they voted accordingly. And I think another thing that played a big role in that is more and more there is toxic identity politics everywhere, filtering into every aspect of our lives. All media, all entertainment, all just basic discussions where we should be able to get away from all of that stuff. The sports world, heavens, we can't get away from it there. And I think people of all walks of life have said, we've had enough. We don't care about this toxic identity politics. That was supposed to be front and center why Donald Trump was a bad man, orange man bad, and what a villain. And people just got tired of it. As I've said many times before, look, if you don't think Donald Trump's a good president, you think he's a bad candidate, you don't like the policies, well, just say it, articulate it fairly politely. People will listen. Maybe they will agree with you. You like Joe Biden better? You like Hillary Clinton better? Okay, we'll put the case forward. You can volunteer for them, donate for them, whatever you got to do. It's a free society. It's a democracy. But this oversell, this over-the-top stuff, I think it didn't work. In fact, I think the evidence shows it backfired.